Hi, I'm Jeanne Franklin, and I'm a Virginia mediator. I'm making this video in the hopes that you might find out a little more what I'm like and how I work. Virginia mediators are told, in fact mediators in general are told, that people who are looking to hire a facilitator or a mediator want to know what a person is like. They want to know if it is someone whom they will like, whom they will trust to get the job done well and to get it done. They want to know if the mediator will be fair, that is, someone who will manage the process in a fair way. These are intangible qualities, but they're very important. I love mediating. I have been mediating formally since 2004 when I was certified by the Virginia Supreme Court. But in fact, I have been working on the facilitation and problem-solving component for a long time before that as part of my work. I love to mediate, whether it's between parties who are in a lawsuit or parties and groups of people who have some problems or some concerns that they need to work through. They might be stuck, but they would like to see if they can get something done. I like puzzles. I like people, and one of my adult sons says I have an inherent optimism that must drive a determination or desire to help clients achieve things. I'd like to take a minute or two to describe to you some of the skills that mediators use and work on improving as we mediate. The first one that's extremely effective and important is a refined listening skill. That is a real workhorse in how we manage a process. A second very important skill is an attention to detail, focusing on what is going on and being communicated between the parties. What is this dispute about? What is it really about? We look for clues and cues that might become windows of opportunity to create some new way to resolve the dispute. A third quality or skill that is very important is a kind of leadership. We are influencing parties to try to look at the facts from a slightly different perspective. People already know most of the facts and they have a perspective that they've held on to rather firmly. But it's important to try to open up that frame of reference. We're trying to reduce some of the very natural fear or resistance that we all have to making any kind of change. We're signaling in a way that fair compromise is not a loss. And if you don't mind, I want to tell you to illustrate what I mean by perspective, illustrate how very real and how powerful it is. The other day, I was taking a walk along the canal towpath in Washington, D.C., and it was the day after a lot of rain. The towpath is primarily a dirt path. So I am walking on the right side of the path because people are going to be coming in the opposite direction and bikers are commonly passing from behind me in the left. And I become aware of how many rain puddles there are on my side of the path. And I'm even getting rather annoyed by it. I feel I'm having to do all the dodging and the leaping or even just walking through wet puddles. Well, lo and behold, when I reach the point at which I'm going to turn around, I start walking back on the other side of the path. And what do I find? Just as many, it seems, rain puddles on this other side of the path. And I have to laugh at myself because my cranky determination that I was getting all the rain puddles when I was coming out in the first direction was wrong. And my frame of reference was opened. That's an example of how powerful perspective is and when we look at facts. And changing that perspective a little can really cause us to change our minds a little, or at least open up our thinking. Besides the listening, the attention to detail, and the leadership, there are other very important qualities and skills. One is respect, respecting all the parties in the mediation. And why not? Everybody has a story, everyone has feelings, everyone has beliefs, and we will not agree with each other all the time. We don't even have to like each other, but if we can at least consider and see the intrinsic humanity in the other people, we can use that as a basis to try to fashion some resolution that we can all live with. Another skill that is absolutely imperative is neutrality. You might not think of that as a skill, but maintaining neutrality is not necessarily always easy, but it is incumbent, it is an ethical requirement for mediators that we balance the process and manage it so that it is a fair and balanced process for all the parties, so that no one is disadvantaged as a result of going through the process. It is an ethical requirement, as I've said. It is something to which I am deeply committed. I care a lot when I am mediating. I care a lot that the parties who entrust their dispute to my services will come away from the process better off than they were when they came into it, and that they will have a measure of satisfaction from having gone through it. After you finish watching this video, I encourage you to read some of the information that I've put on my website. That's www.franklin.solutions.net, in case you're watching this video somewhere else and are not already on the website. I have a horizontal menu there. Two of the categories are mediation and EADR. There are drop-down pieces there that contain some facts and other helpful information. The blog on the website also is somewhat revealing about how I think and perhaps how I work. In summary, I would like to say that I'm going to make another video in which I describe quickly the process to further familiarize you with it and with how I work. If you are someone who thinks that you would rather settle than fight, you're not someone who would rather fight than switch, I hope this video has been a little bit helpful, and perhaps you will decide that you would like to choose me to help you resolve your dispute. Thank you for listening.